Hey, we're live finally. So welcome guys, welcome on Instagram and also on Facebook. I'm in the Facebook group and also on the Digital Yoga Academy Facebook page. So thank you for bearing with me. If you've been waiting for me to go live, I've had a few connection issues here in Sri Lanka. So I'm finally on here for our scheduled weekly live business coaching session. I usually do this on a Tuesday. It's actually my birthday tomorrow, so I make it a rule to not work on my birthday. So I'm coming to you a day early and coming to you from Sri Lanka. So I'm hoping that it's going to come through loud and clear and it's a good connection. So do let me know if I'm coming through clearly, if you can see me okay, and if you can hear me okay. I can see a few people have started to join. So sorry for the delay, guys. A few connection issues here, my end, but I'm live now and I think it's all looking good. So today I'm talking about how you can build a wait list of pre-qualified, interested retreaters. So these are people who are telling you that they're interested in your yoga retreat, and how you can go about building that list of people who will be interested in your retreat, so that when you finally put your retreat out there, that you have a group of people who have already told you that they're interested, and these are the people who will be more likely to book your retreat as soon as you've opened bookings. So it's a really great way to, get that assurance that what you're putting out there is going to be well received, and to feel more confident when it comes to actually promoting and launching your retreat. So I'm here in Sri Lanka at the moment, where I've just finished a yoga retreat for my other business, which is called Good Yoga Life. So if you've been following me for a while, you'll know that I have a retreat business. And I've been running yoga retreats now for the last few years, last 3.5 years. This retreat in Sri Lanka was my 16th retreat. Okay, so I've done 16 retreats so far, and they have all sold out. And I've been running them in mainly in Ibiza. So I've run, I think, 9 retreats in Ibiza now, and also Morocco, France, and Sri Lanka was the first time that I've run a retreat long haul, so a bit further afield, a bit further away than Europe, where I usually run them. And yeah, obviously Sri Lanka is an incredible place. Requires people to come that little bit further away, and to invest a little bit more into the retreat in terms of time and money, I guess, as well. And I had 16 people booked on the retreat. Many of them, it was their, excuse me, second or third retreat with me. So there was a group of 6 girls who have been on previous retreats, and they'd actually met each other at previous retreats and then started to actually traveled together and booked Sri Lanka together. So that was really amazing. And yeah, I mean, if you're a yoga teacher that wants to do this, that wants to run retreats in the future, it can be quite daunting, not really knowing where to start with it in terms of, how you go about planning your retreat, but also, having the belief and the confidence that you'll be able to sell those places, because of course, there's the investment that you have to make, and it's an upfront investment that you'll have to make. You'll have to pay the villa. You might have to pay suppliers up front as well. So that can be quite scary for a lot of teachers. That can be perhaps one of the main things that might put you off doing it. So, I've been, before I got on this session today, I've been having a few activation calls, coaching sessions with some teachers who are on my new program, which is the Yoga BIZ Accelerator program, which started at the beginning of this month, so just a week ago. And even in these conversations today, you know, we've been talking about this exact thing. So, you know, some of them do have a kind of big goal of wanting to run retreats in the future, but they didn't necessarily put it on their, you know, top goals for now, because they felt that maybe it was something that's perhaps out of reach for them. And quite often that belief, hey Annie, that belief can be because, you know, they think that they wouldn't be able to fill it. And that can be kind of one of the biggest, you know, factors really that might stop you from going down that road. So what I want to share with you today is how you can actually build interest and build a wait list of people who will be there and ready to book your retreat when you get the information out there. So that's what we're talking about. Today's training is about building a wait list of people who will be the first people to book your retreat. And I think, you know, when it comes to marketing, so your wait list is part of your marketing plan. So it's a strategy that you can use. And it's really a good idea to start promoting your retreat as soon as possible. And by that, I mean promoting it even when you haven't finalized all of the details, okay? So one thing you'll know for sure is you'll know the location that you want to go to, and you'll have a rough idea of the date when you want to run your next retreat. So for instance, my retreat last week finished on Thursday, and on Thursday I did some Instagram stories around the fact that I am planning to do another Sri Lanka retreat next year in April. And I asked people if they'd be interested and to DM me if they want more information and if they want to be the first to receive information. So I now have over 20 people who had sent me a DM in Instagram to say that they want to be on my wait list and they want to be the first to know. And that was off the back of doing lots of Instagram stories, sharing content about the retreat, creating some hype around the retreat that's just taken place, and showing people what it looks like to be on a Good Yoga Life retreat. And really, when it comes to planning your retreat, you know, you need to be giving yourself between 9 and 12 months to promote your retreat, okay? So you're obviously going to have far more success if you give yourself that time than if you just had 3 months before the retreat is about to start. So I encourage you to, you know, give yourself around 9 to 12 months to, you know, to plan and promote and launch your retreat, okay? So this really means you need to be planning ahead. And for me personally, you know, I've been doing this now for the last 3.5 years, but I'm still giving myself, you know, 12 months or even more sometimes. You know, I'm thinking about Bali in November 2020. So that's more than a year ahead. And, you know, I am really doing that. I'm looking at locations and I'm looking at venues for retreats way in advance, because I know that that's going to set me up for success. And that's the great thing, because, you know, if you give yourself lots of time, even if you don't have anything officially planned yet, you can still announce that something is coming, and that's where your wait list comes into play, okay? So you can announce, just as I did last week, you can say, hey guys, you know, I'm planning this retreat. It's going to take place in April next year. It's happening in Sri Lanka. If you're interested, you know, here's the wait list that you can sign up for, or send me an email or send me a DM, whatever it might be, but you will be the first to know. Okay, and this really is one of the most effective strategies to fill your retreat as soon as you launch it. And you don't need to have, well, you don't need to wait until you have all of the information ready before you announce your retreat, okay? Instead, you can announce the location and you can announce the date, and this is really going to help you to build some buzz around the retreat and to help you to build that excitement. So does that make sense, guys? So I'm just going to check in here on Facebook. So, and for you guys watching me on Instagram, let me know, give me some love if that's making sense to you. Who have I got watching me on Facebook right now? I can see Kate has joined and Keith has joined. Who else is there? Hey Jay, how you doing, love? So Jay says, Kelly, do you find you get more bookings closer to the time? She says, I plan ahead, but most bookings come in the last couple of months. Yes, I do. I do get bookings closer to the time. I'm starting to see that more and more now. In the early days, or certainly in the first couple of years of running my retreats, I was getting my bookings predominantly from my emails, from my email list. So I'd spent a lot of time and hard work building up my email list, and I found that I would put, I'd send out the retreat to my email list first before sharing it on social media, and many of my retreats would sell out from sharing it with my email list. So sometimes I'd be putting it out on social media, but it already sold out, which is obviously, a really great thing to happen. That's ideally what you want to happen, but it doesn't always happen like that. And I have found over the last year that that hasn't happened. And I think mainly because, well, I know the reason for that. And it's because over the last year, I've cut down the number of classes that I run in London. So at one point I had 10 venues, I had a team of teachers. In fact, Jay, you were teaching some of those classes. And, I had a full schedule. And so because of that, I had a lot of people in London coming to my classes. I was running more events. A lot of people were coming to my events. All of those people were on my email list. And then when I would launch a retreat, those people were the ones that would book. Okay, because I now have Digital Yoga Academy and I want to spend more effort and energy and focus on Digital Yoga Academy and what I'm doing here with you guys, I have I've scaled back on the classes that I run in London. I'm not running as many events now, which means there's less people in my funnel, in my business, going through my business. There's less people to then go on and book the retreat. So I found that actually, whereas my email list still does play a part in my bookings, of course, but I'm having to use other strategies. And I found that I'm getting success on Instagram, particularly being visible on Instagram stories, and sharing and promoting my retreat on stories has led to people sending me messages. And those people, once I tell them, send me a DM, guys, if you're interested in the retreat, I'll send you some more information. I can then start that conversation in the DMs and then move into their inbox. So I would say to them, send me your email address and I will send you more information. And then I can start that conversation in their inbox via email. So you have to move with the times, and you have to see, what worked 3 years ago isn't necessarily going to work now. You have to use other strategies. And that's why it's really important to have a marketing plan and different strategies that you can use over that 9 to 12 month period. So things that you use at the beginning, you won't necessarily use, in months 6 to 9. There'll be other strategies that you will bring in depending on the number of bookings that you have. But one of the first strategies that you're going to use is your wait list. So that's what we're talking about today. So let me come back to that, where we are with that. So your wait list, like I said, it's one of the best ways to help you to sell out your retreat. Okay, it gives you assurance, it gives you confidence that what you're putting out there is something that people really, really want. Let me just grab some water, one sec. So When you're planning your retreat, one of the things that you want to be doing is you want to be sending out a survey. You want to be sending out a survey to your community and asking them questions. So this is, we're taking it a little step back from your wait list, okay? Just a step back. And this is something that you would do during the planning period. So when you're doing things like, you know, looking for locations, looking for villas, looking at maybe you know what country you want to do it in, but you're not sure on the actual location in that country. Maybe you're doing some research on, you know, chefs and suppliers. So it's during your planning stage. You would also send out a survey to your community. So that survey would go out to your email list. You'd share it on social media. And you're asking people, you know, what it is that they want from a retreat, and, you know, asking them things like, do they want a 4-night retreat, a 5-night, do they want a week-long retreat? Things like this that are going to help you to build up and to create and craft the experience. Now, those people who fill out your survey, they have kind of pre-qualified themselves as being interested in your retreat, okay? Quite likely they know you, okay? So maybe they're people that have come to your class. If they're going to the effort to fill out a survey about a retreat that you're going to potentially offer in the future, they're kind of telling you that they're interested in what you have to offer, okay? So those people can actually be the first people that you share your save the date with or your waitlist opportunity with, okay? So remember, at this point, when you're sharing your save the date, you still don't know all of the details for your retreat, okay? So you're still really in the planning stages, and you've got to make some key decisions still on perhaps, you know, your retreat theme or some of the logistics or even the price, okay? You can send out your wait list and your save the date as early as that, okay? You might still have some key decisions to make, and that's totally okay. Keeping some of your retreat details a surprise really can help you to build up that anticipation and curiosity, okay, for when you come to launch. So the goal here at this point in the process is really about collecting names and email addresses of people who are provisionally interested in your retreat. Does that make sense, guys? Let me just pop in and see what's going on here. Okay, Kate says she's lost me for a few minutes there. Sorry, Kate. I recognize that I might not have brilliant connection going on right now just because I'm in Sri Lanka. So hopefully you can hear me still and it's all good. I think, hang on, bear me 1 second. I think, have I lost? Oh no, here we are. Okay, sorry guys. I thought I'd lost the connection in the Facebook group, but I can see I'm still here, so that's good. Okay, so I'm just going to have a look at any questions. So Rita, she says, I'm also believing in the long planning ahead. Perfect. I did have last minute bookings, but planning 1 year, planning 1 year ahead is definitely giving more time to promote and get the bookings in. Yeah, exactly. For the initial interest wait list, what information are you sharing? I might not have the price and all the details, so I'm not sure what to say. Yeah, exactly. You don't have to have the price or the details. I mean, for instance, the example that I shared at the start, and I'm not sure if you were here, Rita, when we started today, but last week, on the day that my retreat here in Sri Lanka finished, I had been really active all week on Instagram stories. You know, I've been sharing a lot of clips and content around what had been happening all week during the retreat. So that in itself was a great way to create a little build up. And of course, if you are on your retreat and you're going and you know you're going to be planning the next one in the same location, you should definitely do that. Make sure that you're sharing content during your retreat, because it's a perfect lead up to your waitlist opportunity. Okay, so last week, all I said on my stories was that I'm planning Sri Lanka next year, April 2020, who's interested? So I did a little poll. So I used that feature in stories, and around over 20 people said they were interested. And then in the next story, I asked them to send me a DM. So I now have over 20 people who had sent me a DM to say that they wanted more information. So, you know, they're the people that I'll be sharing the information with first up, as soon as the details are available, and, you know, as soon as I'm able to launch it. So you can be as general as that. You don't have to have information about the theme, or you don't have to have information about the price at this stage. Now, sharing this on Instagram stories is one way of doing it. But another way, which is actually more effective, is to create a landing page. Okay, so this is a standalone page that you'd have on your either on your website, or you can set it up through your email service provider. So if you're using MailChimp, for instance, they have a landing page feature, and essentially, if you're not sure what a landing page is, it's one web page that doesn't really have anything else on it. So on that one web page, it will have a little bit of information about your retreat, you know, where you're planning on holding it, so the location, a nice image, the date. It's almost like a save the date. Yeah, this is a save the date. Just give whatever information at that stage you have, but it can be as simple as that. It can simply be a save the date and the location and a nice image. Okay, and then on that page, you would have a sign up box that would give people the opportunity to give you their name and their email address, and you're telling them that they are going to be the first people to know and to hear about your retreat. So they will have the first opportunity to book your retreat. And to incentivize them a bit more, you can tell them that they are also going to get a VIP early bird, okay? So you're giving them the first chance to book at the early bird price. And you can even, if you wish and you have capacity to do it in your budget, you could actually have a VIP early bird price. And then you can talk about that on social media and to your email list and in your community. Tell people, look guys, if you're interested in this retreat, make sure you sign up to my wait list, because that is the only way that you can access my VIP early bird price. Does that make sense? Let me know if that's making sense. Okay. Any questions on this before I shoot? Because it's quite late here. It's like 10:30 here. So any questions before I go? Let's have a look. So let's have a look. Yeah, so Jay in the group, what are you saying, Jay? Let's have a look. I plan ahead, but most bookings come in last month. Yeah, so I mentioned that. She says, stories are most viewed. I need to utilize more. Stories is where it is at. Really, really is. Stories is where it's at. I actually did a live training about stories and how you can utilize stories. So go and check that training out. Either if you're watching on Instagram, guys, you need to hop over to Facebook, go on to either in the group or on the Facebook page, and Digital Yoga Academy Facebook page, and just go to videos, go to live videos and look for that one, because I've shared some, you know, some tactics and strategies that you can use in Instagram stories. But yeah, get onto stories, because I really feel that the inquiries that I've had on Instagram have come from my stories and not from my feed posts. So that's quite interesting. Okay, and perfect. Yeah, so that training you can find on the in the group or on the Facebook page? Okay, let me just have a look at the Facebook page because I can see there are some comments here as well. La, la, la. Okay, so Kate said, I've just started my first day retreat. Amazing. And I've already got a wait list for 2 more dates. Fully booked. Perfect. Well done. So there you go. That just goes to show, guys, exactly what we've been talking about. And it doesn't just apply to, you know, your yoga retreats that you run abroad, or perhaps locally, but also day retreats and events and workshops. You know, this whole idea around building a wait list applies to all of these other offerings that you have as well. Okay, so let's have a look. Gore, have I pronounced that right? I hope I have. Do you recommend webinars? Yes, I do. I do recommend webinars. A little bit off topic because we're talking about yoga retreats and wait lists, but yes, I totally do recommend webinars. So if you're still on, let me know in what sense what you're planning. But perhaps I will do a training on this. So perhaps I could do a future training on how to use webinars in your business. So I will make a note of that. Perfect, guys. I'm going to head off now. Like I said, it's quite late here. It's 10:30. Time to go to bed. But thank you for joining me today. I usually do this on a Tuesday, but it's my birthday tomorrow, so no work for me. I'll be hitting the surf nice and early and doing some nice things with my husband tomorrow. So thanks for joining me today, and I will be back to normal next week. So it'll be Tuesday next week. You can join me. I'll actually be in Ibiza next week. I'm hosting a retreat out there. So yeah, if there's any questions, then feel free to add them. If you're watching the replay, do ask any questions. I'll still be on Facebook and Instagram. So take care. Thank you. Oh, hey, Dylan. Thank you. Dylan says happy birthday. Thanks. Bye, guys. Take care. See you all soon. Bye.